This is the All Aussie Rules YouTube channel, and today we've got another mid-season review coming your way, and it is the Collingwood Magpies 2025 mid-season review. Sit back, enjoy, and let me know what you think. Welcome on into the All Aussie Rules YouTube channel. We've got another 2025 mid-season review episode coming your way, and today it's the top of the ladder Collingwood Magpies. We're going to be going through their season so far, all their best players, all the key stats, what we can expect from the rest of the year for Collingwood as each team makes it to their bye. We're doing a mid-season review for each team. So there's already 6 up on the channel. This is number 7. So go check out the rest that have been up so far. I think the content's pretty good. If you enjoy it, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment, and let me know how you think Collingwood are going to go this year. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well so you don't miss any videos. We do 2 podcasts every single week. Plus, we're doing these mid-season reviews. There's still 3 more to come out this week. We're going to have Gold Coast, Sydney and Richmond coming your way by the end of the week. They'll all be across the weekend, so they'll be Friday for Gold Coast, Saturday for Sydney, Sunday for Richmond. So make sure you come back and check them out as well. Let's jump into Collingwood season 2025 so far. Alright, so this is how their season has gone, and you will notice there's a lot of green. They've had a very good start to their year so far, there's no doubt about it. Look, week 1, opening round, was, I guess, the blimp in the radar, you might say, because since then it's all been green. They lost to Giants by 52 points, looked absolutely terrible that day. A lot of people wrote them off that day, just for being too old. They are the oldest team out there by a fair way. But what they've done since then has been quite good. Port Adelaide, they absolutely smashed at the MCG in round 1. Round 2, they just crept over the line against the Bulldogs by 6 points. They then had their first bye for playing in opening round and came out of that, beat Carlton by 17, Sydney over at Adelaide Oval in gather round by 31 points, then smacked Brisbane by 52 points in their really good performance of the year. Brisbane were off a 5-day break. Anzac Day, wet day, 41-point winners. Then they had a second loss, which was against Geelong by 3 points. Certainly was winnable, plenty of opportunities for them. Fremantle, they won by 14 points over at Optus Stadium. Beat Adelaide at the MCG by 10 points. North Melbourne at Marvel Stadium thanks to a last quarter onslaught by 45. They smashed Hawthorn in what was their performance of the year so far, I think, by 51 points. And Melbourne by 1 point just yesterday at time of recording of this video. In an absolute nail-biter, they won by 1 point. So they're 11-2 for the season. They sit first on the ladder. Healthy enough percentage, 134. Not massive percentage. There's been a lot of games that have been won by that 10 to 30 points. They've got that 91-point win, a couple 50s and a 40. But their percentage is healthy enough. There's no doubt about that. 4-2 against the top 8. So both of their losses have been against top 8 teams. That's teams sitting in the top 8 so far this year. They've played 6 out of the other 7 teams in the top 8, so that's a fair chunk of them that they have played. Off the top of my head, I can't think of who the one that they haven't played is. Maybe I can. Maybe I can't. I don't know. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. There's obviously a team that they haven't played yet in that top 8, but who it is, I don't know. Gold Coast. Of course it is. Gold Coast. They play them in about 5-6 weeks up on the Gold Coast. Anyway, 7-0 against the bottom 10 teams, so against those teams, they're certainly getting the job done, doing exactly what they need to do, and winning those games. We'll jump into some stats. I don't have a graphic for these team stats that we're about to run through, but just some key factors for Collingwood so far this year. Offensively, scoring-wise, they're the 5th best in the competition so far this year, so well and truly in that premiership window that Fox Footy always says. And defensively, number 1 in the competition by about 5 points per game, so they're certainly not allowing teams to score very well. We'll get into score sources and score origins shortly, but there's some very interesting numbers in that as well, so we'll get through that. Interestingly enough for Collingwood, they are the second highest amount of ball time in their forward half in the whole competition. Second only to, I think, maybe the Bulldogs. So that's a really good number for them at keeping the ball in their half. But they're only 12th in inside 50s and they have lost the inside 50 count many times this season and still won the game. Inside 50 count can be a little bit deceptive sometimes, and I think with Collingwood that is a one of those things, because they do lock it in their forward half and inside their inside 50 quite a bit, and that's probably the damaging thing for other teams, is they find it really difficult to get it out, and then when Collingwood go in, they're using it really well and being very effective at turning it into a score. Clearances, they're one of the worst teams in the competition so far this year. They're about number 5, I think, in the competition. So it's not an outstanding number by any stretch of the imagination. It doesn't hurt, but they do concede quite a lot of their scoring against from clearances. They don't get a whole heap of scoring from their own clearances either. So that's probably one of their biggest issues at the moment, I guess, is that clearance game. Hasn't hurt them. Will it hurt them at some point? Maybe. We'll see. Now, number 3 for shots per game, so pretty high in that. Scoring from turnover is where they get the job done. First of all, turnover intercept game, they absolutely dominate that most weeks. But scoring from turnover, that's second in terms of total points in the competition, just behind Adelaide, and first in the competition for percentage of total points, of their total points scored. So right up there as one of the best teams at scoring from turnover, and also at turning chains into scores. So they don't have a huge amount of chains, but when they do convert it into scores. Second best in the competition. Defensively, they really struggle with points from kickouts. That's where other teams are scoring from them. They're 17th in the league at that, so not outstanding by any stretch of the imagination. That's apparently where teams score from them. I don't think that's an issue too much. Like, it's not that bad of a number. It's just probably the fact that they don't concede that many points. I think it is the second most amount of any team, only ahead of Essendon. Also, points from turnover, as I said, offensively is first or second in the competition, depends how you want to read the stats. Defensively, though, they're clear number 1. They absolutely dominate that area of the ground. There's no doubt about it. So, turnover game is Collingwood's number 1 asset going forward and also going backwards. They don't let you score from their turnovers, and that is crucial in modern day football. They also don't let you score from the forward half, from the opposition's forward half. So when the other team does get it, they don't score that well that way either. So Collingwood do have some really good defensive numbers. There's no doubt about it. They also rank number 1 in the competition for tackle differential this year. It's been a staple of the Collingwood game for probably the last 2.5 years. I think they were second at the end of last year in tackle difference. Clear number 1 at the moment after 13 rounds this season. We'll jump into some players for Collingwood, and as we always do, we'll start in the back line. So, key defenders. Some notes on these numbers. Rating is the All Aussie Rules rating system. We give players a rating after every single match. If they if they play less than 50% game time, that game does not count. That gives us a rating. Then we rank them into position and AFL ranked order. Worth noting that if they haven't played 5 or more games so far this season, they will be unranked. And I don't have people that haven't played on these lists. That then separates it into classes. Top 10% of your position is elite. 10 to 25% is top class. Then 25 to 40% is above average. 40 to 60 is average. And everyone below 60%, the top 60%, is below average. So starting with the key defenders for Collingwood, Jeremy Howe has been their best key defender this year. He has played a few games as a general defender, but overall, most of the time he has been a key defender. He's only missed the one game. He's been absolutely outstanding. I think he's been in my team of the week 2 or 3 times now this season already. He's been outstanding. He's 7th best key defender in the competition. According to the numbers so far, he's had a really good season. There's no doubt about it. He's probably having his best key defender season for Collingwood. Darcy Moore, he's only in that average category, 27th. He's certainly capable of better. 2 years ago, Darcy Moore would have been top 10. Last year wasn't his best year either, so maybe this is where he is now. Who knows? But I think we can see improvement from him. Billy Frampton, he has played 10 games pretty much ever since Reef McGuinness got injured. He has come in. He's played his role well. He is a lockdown key defender. He's never going to be an offensive weapon, whereas Moore and Howe do have that offensive capability. But he plays his role. He's always going to be probably taking the best key forward, so you kind of allow him to be a little bit below average category. He's never going to be a star, I don't think, but he's playing his role. General defenders, Josh Dacos, he's been absolutely outstanding. He's elite general defender so far this year, ranked 10 in the competition. Probably close, if not best on ground against Melbourne this week. His numbers look really good. I think he's someone that could potentially even move even higher up from that 10 spot, unless they start giving him some attention. Dan Houston, he came across as clearly a top 10 general defender in the competition. He's not that so far this year. He's still in the above average category, but all the way down at 28. Maynard's having a great season as well. He's obviously out injured at the moment, but he's played 10 games also in that above average category, very close to Dan Houston. So he's putting up some good numbers. Then you've got Harry Perryman, who's played a variety of roles, especially early, but lately has been playing general defender mainly. He's in the average category. Once Maynard, if Collingwood are full fitness, he probably moves back into a midfield wing sort of hybrid defence role. Quainer, he's been good, hasn't been outstanding. He's rated in the below average category. A lot of people will say, oh, but he wins all those one-on-ones. He does. He's not as offensive as the other players above him. He certainly plays his role, though, and he's good at that. A couple players that haven't really played this year. Oleg Markov has played 2 games, rated okay in both of them. Will Parker has played just the 1 game. His rating is obviously quite low, but that's okay. Moving into the forward line, they've got 3 key forwards. They're pretty much playing 3 key forwards every week, which is very strange for a Collingwood team over the last couple of years. They don't have any standout stars in that either, but Myercheck gets the job done week in, week out. He's ranked 17th as a key forward. Dan McStay, he's crucial, I think, for them. When he's in, it allows a little bit more offensive power than the Mason Cox role, where Coxie's obviously very good in the ruck, but yeah, you get what I mean. He's probably not as good around the ground. Dan McStay, so 19th. Tim Membry, he's in the average category, 30th best key forward. Not outstanding, but for someone that Collingwood picked up for basically free, he's having a good year. And if you look at the ratings there, there's not that much between 17th and 30th in the AFL as a key forward, just 5 rating points. General forwards is probably where they've been really good in that forward line. Jamie Elliott, rated elite, 6th best general forward so far this year. Funnily enough, he is, second in the Coleman medal at the moment. He's having a great season, no doubt about it. So, yeah, all things going well for him. Lachie Schultz, he's their pressure man. He's only played 7 games, so he has missed 6. He's probably going to miss a few more before he's back. But top class so far this year, ranked 17th as a general forward. Bo McQuarrie plays a bit of midfield time, a bit of general forward time. He's still only in that average category. He's someone that I can see having the potential to move up, but he just hasn't quite reached his peak yet, I don't think. Bobby Hill, his best is really good. Maybe doesn't bring it quite enough this season so far, but expect to see him improve, I think, in the second half of the year. He's ranked 56th. Will Hoskin-Elliott plays the wing, plays general forward. He pretty much plays whatever role Collingwood need him to on the day. He's a role player, and he does that role well. Lachie Sullivan came in as a extra pick late, just before the season started last year. as a midfielder coverage. He's pretty much full-time playing as that hard-bodied, half-forward flanker sort of player at the moment. And once again, another one that's just kind of playing the role. William Hayes has played 2 games over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Kicked his first goal against Melbourne, but I mean, he probably looks a little bit off the pace at the moment of AFL level, but he's a first-year player, and he was a late draft pick as well, so like you kind of forgive, like you're not going to see him at his best for a couple of years, you wouldn't think. Into the midfield line, inside mids, they've got some really good talent in here. Who would have thought? Still Sidebottom is their number 1 rated inside mid so far this year. He's in the top class category, 14th best inside mid in the competition so far this year. He's really potentially having the best year of his career, maybe just behind 2018. Nick Dacos certainly not playing to the numbers he was last year. Still very effective, still top class, ranked 23rd in the competition as an inside mid, but certainly not the numbers he was putting up last year. I think his rating last year ended up at about a 73, if I'm not mistaken. So he's a bit off that, but I mean, he's still having a really good year. Ned Long has been their find, I guess, since joining the club at the mid-season draft last year. He's, I think, played his first game for Collingwood in round 17 and hasn't missed since. His numbers this year are really good. He affects the scoreboard really well. He tackles a lot, and just allows Nick Dacos to play his role a bit better. No doubt about that. Scotty Pendlebury played 11 games. He's only in the average category, right behind Ned Long, but he's playing his role week in, week out. There's no doubt there. Geordie De Goey has only played the 5 games. He's in the below average category. He's definitely been carrying an injury. He's off injured at the moment. When will we see him back? Who knows? But yeah, at his best, he's certainly capable of being in that top class category. So if he does come back and he is fit, maybe he will add a lot to this Collingwood team. Who knows? Outside mids is where they do really well. Jack Crisp, currently the number 1 rated winger in the competition, 13 matches. He's elite, been playing really well. Yes, he has gone inside mid a few games here and there, but overall he's mainly played outside mid and been very good at it. Paddy Lipinski, he's in the top class category, ranked 12th as an outside mid, so they've got 2 in the top 12, which is outstanding for them. Ed Allen, who debuted late last year, has played 8 games this year, been pretty solid. He hasn't been putting up exceptional numbers, but he's a runner. He runs all day, and I think we'll see him only improve over the rest of the season. Ruckman, Darcy Cameron obviously is their number 1 ruck, has been for all 13 games in the above average category, ranked number 7 in the competition as a ruckman. Mason Cox, he plays as the second ruckman sometimes, unlike when Dan McStay or another Collingwood player is the second ruck. Coxie plays a lot of ruck time when he's in the team, because his tap work is the best part of his game. There's no doubt about it. He's a really good ruckman, but he's not great around the ground, so that kind of slows him down as a beneficial part of the team. We'll probably see him come back into the team at times in the second half of the year, but I think his best is past him. So that's all the positions. We'll now do a little breakdown of what positions they have good players in. AFL averages have 2.5 in the elite category, so Collingwood just above that. They have an outside mid, a general forward, and a general defender. Top class, they have 5, so they're above average in that category. Key defender, general forward, inside mids, and an outside mid. And then, once again, above average, they've got another 5. So 13 players out of your starting 22 are in the above average or better category, and 20 overall in the average or above category. So they do have some really good depth across the ground. You look at it, pretty much every position has someone in at least above average or better. 1 key defender, 3 general defenders, 2 key forwards, 2 general forwards, 2 inside mids, 2 outside mids, and a ruckman, all in the above average category. So they got really good depth across the field in high talent, but also backing that up, they have plenty of depth in their average and below average category as well. So their biggest issue probably would be Darcy Cameron going down, because what would they do with their backup ruck? Would Mason Cox come in? They would probably have to play Coxie unless they go to a young, untried ruckman that they have in the VFL. So that's probably potentially their biggest issue. So that's everything so far this year. Let's have a look at what we still have to come for Collingwood Magpies this year. Obviously, round 14 is their bye, and then we jump into the rest of their season. Expected win percentage is using the All Aussie Rules ELO rating system that we use here. Rates every team every week. Gives us an expected win percentage, and that gives us expected wins for the year and expected ladder. So coming out of the bye, St Kilda at Marvel Stadium, they rated it at 76%. I think that's a bit of a danger game for Collingwood, in all honesty. Marvel Stadium, St Kilda, could be a tough one, but based on what you've seen so far from Collingwood this year, you think they'd win. West Coast at Marvel should be a walk in the park, you would think, but who knows. Carlton at the MCG, probably tougher than a 74%. Gold Coast at People First Stadium, up on the Gold Coast, definitely harder than a 62%, no doubt there. Then it gets into a little bit of a couple weeks of an easier run. Fremantle at the G, Richmond at the G, before they've got a couple tough top teams, 3 finalists out of the last 4 weeks. Brisbane and Hawthorn both at the MCG. Adelaide at the Adelaide Oval, which will be a cracker. Collingwood potentially going favourites, even though it's Adelaide in Adelaide. They have won their last 10 at Adelaide Oval and their last 11, I think, against Adelaide. So they have a really good record against the Crows. Melbourne at the MCG to finish the season off. In all honesty, at the moment, you'd think Collingwood are probably going to start favourites in all of those games. You work out the win percentages, and it's going to give you a total of 18.4 wins on the season for Collingwood, sitting expected ladder position of first by a couple wins. So their season's shaping up really well now. I mean, they've obviously played 13 games and they've won 11. They've still got 10 matches left. Win 5 of those, and they've probably done enough for top 4. Probably need 17 wins to be top 2, I would say. So another 6 from this point. They've set themselves up perfectly that they can just sort of find their way in the second half. Maybe they've peaked too early. Maybe they haven't. I guess we'll find that out. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Have they peaked too early? Will we see them decline? Or will we just see them regroup and come back even better? Who knows? Let me know what you think. This is the All Aussie Rules YouTube channel. I thank you for being here. As I said, there's still 3 more to come this week. Richmond, Sydney and the Gold Coast. There's also 2 podcasts every single week, previewing the games on the Thursday, and then on the Monday we review each match. So make sure you come back, check them out. They go live on the YouTube, on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. This is the All Aussie Rules YouTube channel. I'm Jay. Hope you've enjoyed this in Collingwood Magpies mid-season review for 2025.